Today I'm going to share with you the super simple way to plant roses, specifically bare root roses, but this will work for any type of rose. As you can see, I have this coral knockout rose right here. The first thing you want to do is be sure to dig a decent sized hole for the size of rose that you are planning to plant. The nice thing about bare root roses or roses that are in smaller containers is that you don't have to dig as big of a hole. And then all you'll want to do is just take it out of the container that it's in. Be sure to inspect the roots. Looks like we got some good roots starting to form. And then just kind of set it in for size. As we can see here, this is actually pretty good because you want to plant it slightly above, or have this base part slightly above the ground level. That is to prevent any rot from happening, and it'll also help it to continue to produce little sprouts from the base, as you can see right there. So after you go ahead and set this in, I also have a nice mixture of some compost, soil conditioner, and some just basic natural organic fertilizers, and I'll just go ahead and add this to the planting hole like so. Just kind of go around, don't worry about it too much, but it is very simple. You want to make sure too that it mixes all well within the soil mix here. And then before you backfill all of the soil, be sure to leave a little bit of room to add some amendments, such as this bone meal, which contains lots of phosphorus, which will kickstart your roses to produce tons of blooms this year, and also help it to produce a strong root system. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and add about 3/4 of a tablespoon. I'll add a little bit more in the spring when it actually starts growing a lot, but just sprinkle it around, and this will get your roses off to the best of start. And then I'm just going to add a small handful of warm castings as well. Nothing too fancy, just a small handful that will get these off to the proper starts, because until your roses actually are starting to grow like this, you don't want to add any water soluble fertilizer, because that could either burn the plants as they're coming out of dormancy, or it'll just wash all the way straight down into the soil. So now you can go ahead and just backfill everything else like so. And then there you go. Planting roses is as simple as 1, 2, 3 essentially. You do want to make sure you add back your mulch layer, or add a mulch layer. If it is starting to bud out like this rose is, be sure and add a nice little water soluble fertilizer like I will be doing very shortly. Make sure that the roots are not necessarily compressed, but the soil has been packed down around it. And you can always wait for rain. We're supposed to get a little bit of rain later today, so I'm not going to water this in right away, but I will be doing a water soluble shortly after. So that is another tip that you can keep in mind when planting your roses. And then at the very end, I like to go through and find out any dead growth and simply trim all of that dead growth off. As you can see here, they usually get damaged in shipping, so I would trim it back to the nearest bud, the outward facing bud, so that you don't have to worry about trimming any growth that's crisscrossing. But see, like this branch right here, I will be pruning this branch because it's shooting up this way and it is competing with the space of other branches. So it's just a quick crash course on how to plant roses. It's not rocket science, and there's just a few short steps and a secret step that will get them off on the best of starts. So I really hope you liked this video and really got something out of it. But we're in the full planting season now, and if you want to see how I planted dahlias, some of the most beautiful bulbs and flowers, they have so many different types, you need to definitely check out this video, which is your complete growing guide.